Hey guys, it's Matt back with Everyday Success. We're going to check out the market today. Obviously, a crazy week. It's been a crazy month. It's been pretty crazy since late of last year. But if you take a look at Bitcoin, it's going down. Like I've been saying online, I really think Bitcoin's going to drop all the way down to the $29,000 range, 29,300, 29,650, somewhere in there, right? I think it's a definite that Bitcoin's going to drop that far, and then it's going to make a bounce. But I think it's going to be pretty hard lined all the way down. But it's dragging the market down with it, or vice versa. It really looks like at this point Bitcoin and Nasdaq are making a race to see who can reach bottom first. So I'm going to be looking to Bitcoin to find where the actual market bottom is for stocks, because when Bitcoin bounces, I think the stock market's going to bounce too. If we take a look at the IXIC, the Nasdaq Composite Index, it doesn't have too far to go to hit the mark that it was supposed to last time. It almost bottomed out, but I think it didn't quite make it. So I think it's going to go down here to 13,000, or maybe even worse, and probably more likely 12,397. It might hit all the way that low. It's going to be one of those 2 points for sure, and then it's probably going to bounce too. But everybody's freaking out right now because the Fed, is having emergency meetings, and everybody's worried they're going to go ahead and raise the interest rates now. Run it up like half a point now instead of waiting until the middle of March. It's probably unlikely, but anything could happen, really. The big point is that, Bitcoin and the NASDAQ and the market in general are pretty well going to be dropping for a little bit until they hit one of these lows. They're all pretty much going to move together. I think the Dow is fighting it a little bit. For the most part, though, everything's kind of moving together because everybody's scared and, kind of pulling their money back to see what's happening, where the market's going. So for me, as I've said before, I'm not your financial investor, so anything I say here is really just what I'm doing with my money. It's not a suggestion to buy, trade, or sell stocks. But for me, I'm shorting the market, I'm shorting Bitcoin. But when it hits bottom, I'm going to flip my trades and, buy the opposite options, of course. So let's talk about the $5,000 to $500,000 challenge. So yesterday I put $5,000 in this Robinhood account, and I'm going to prove that it doesn't take a fortune to make a fortune. So I put $5,000 in, and I was up a little yesterday. Today I'm up $1,316. So we're going to see where that goes. My goal is by the end of the year to turn 5,000 into 500,000 or more. Hopefully more, ideally. But I just want to prove that you really don't need a ton of money to make a bunch of money. Yes, it helps. If you start with $1 million, of course, you could lose more or you could gain more. But for the most part, if you just make sound decisions, you can turn 5,000 into 500,000 in a year, especially with a recession coming. But it doesn't have to be a great market to make money. I'm going to show you even in a down market, you can turn 5,000 into 500,000. That's the challenge. In every video, I'm going to give you an update. We're going to stick to this and see where it goes. And I challenge you at home to do that as well. I empower you to trade and get in the market and take a little bit of money. Take 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. It doesn't have to be a fortune. Take that money, invest in the market soundly, make good decisions, and see how much money you can make by the end of the year. Keep watching this channel and listen to the hints and tips, and we'll talk about where the market's going, and we can work this plan out as it goes, because everything's going to be changing, especially with an oncoming recession this year, which I think is actually going to be a depression, by the way. I believe we're in a bubble, just like we were in 99 and 2000. But you can make money. You can bet against the market. When it pops back up, you can ride those waves. Just don't ride them to the peak. Ride the wave. Get 75%, 85% there. Hop out, keep your money safe. When it dips back down, bet against the market. You don't have to ride it all the way to the very top or the very bottom. When you start trying to find the perfect peak or the low of the market, you're often going to get caught in the reversal. So don't do that. You don't have to go that far. 75, 85, 90%, and then hop out. Once you think it's, hey, this is getting really high, or, the bottom's getting really low, that's a time to switch over, turn that put into a call, turn that short into a long, or vice versa. I'm excited for this year. I'm excited for all the things that are going to come. We're going to grow the channel more. I'm going to post a lot more often. And we're going to go over trades. Right now, I'm pretty much betting against the market, except for SoFi. I do have some options in PayPal that I was holding that I decided to just hang on to. I really doubt PayPal is going to bring me a lot of money, but I bought it pretty low, so I might as well stick with it at this point. But companies like SoFi, banking companies, companies that handle your money for you, you're probably going to do pretty well even with the interest rate going up, so I'm not too concerned. SoFi is doing very well today. It's hanging in there, and I think when we hit the bottom, it's going to pop up quickly. I think anything in finance like banks or investment companies are going to do pretty well. They generally do well with interest rates because they can charge their customers more and get a bigger return. So a quick update while I was actually making this video, it looks like Russia's threatening to invade the Ukraine pretty much immediately because they're warning us it's gonna happen. And they might do it while the Olympics is going on, which is interesting. But obviously that's gonna make the market crash. Not like we didn't have enough problems before to just boost that fall. And I think what's interesting is I've been calling this Bitcoin drop for weeks, and I told you Bitcoin and NASDAQ and the market generally move together. If you look in my past videos on YouTube, I called the big correction or recession when the pandemic hit way before it happened. But what's interesting is no one knew the pandemic was coming, but if you look at the charts, you can tell when stuff's about to happen. So it's interesting. It's kind of like the stock market is psychic, like they know when something bad's going to happen. Because how could the charts know the pandemic's coming? Or how could the charts know that Russia wanted to invade Ukraine? And that might cause a conflict between us and our allies and cause some world disorder and market disorder. Like how would the charts know that? I think it's very interesting when you can see on a chart big events that haven't happened yet, because everything's in tune, and for some reason you can see that often in the charts. You don't know if it's going to be a pandemic, or you don't know if it's going to be a bad earnings season, or Russia's going to invade somewhere or something like that, but you can usually tell. So it's very interesting. But regardless, Russia is causing havoc as usual, so it's going to be interesting to see how that affects the market. So stay tuned into the news and keep an eye out to see what happens, but it's definitely going to push the market down for a bit. Stay tuned. We're doing updates. I'll try to make a video at least every other day, update you on the challenge. Make sure you comment below and let me know how your trading's going. Maybe you want to jump in and do this too. Put in 5,000 and track it to the end of the year and see how much you can make. Let's grow that capital. Let's grow those investments. Stay tuned and good luck trading. Keep tuning into Everyday Success.